All right, we're going to do the first free response problem for review day 15. We've got fish entering a lake at a rate given to us by this, and they're leaving a lake at a rate given to us by this. A says how many fish entered the lake in that 5-hour period. So since that's the rate, the amount is going to be the integral of that rate. So we're going to sum up from 0 to 5 e of t, and that's going to give us 153.4 something blah blah blah. It says to round it to the nearest fish, so we would say 153 fish. They gave you 1 point for the integral and 1 point for the answer. So B says what's the average number of fish that leave the lake? So now we're using the other equation, and it's an average number. So 1 over 5 minus 0 times the integral of 0 to 5 of L of t dt. That's our average value look. And then if you do that, you should get 6.059. It doesn't say for any units, but if you wanted to be careful, you could do fish per hour. 1 point for the setup, 1 point for the answer. C says at what time do we have the most fish in the lake? So if you look at the graph of this, E of t, the entering kind of looks like this, L of t kind of looks like that. And so we have fish entering the lake faster than they're leaving up until this point here. And then after that, they are leaving faster than that. So if you explain something like this, you'd be okay. You could kind of get away with that. But what I would say is, what I would do is then find that here. So for part C, when does E of t equal L of t? And that's at t equal 6.20356. So you go to your calculator, find the intersection of that. This equation gives you a point. All right, and then you would either at this point make a table to kind of take your endpoints and your value that you just found for t, and then find out how many fish are in the lake. And if you do that, you get 135 here, you get 81-ish there, so the maximum number is at t equals 6.204. Again, you don't have to make that table because it is clear from the graph that the maximum will be at that spot. So as long as you explained it well, you'd be okay. So you got a point for explaining where t came from. You got a point for finding t, and then you got a point for some justification, whether it's the table or the explanation. That's up to you. And then the last one says, is the rate of change in the number of fish in the lake increasing or decreasing? So they want to know not just is the number of fish increasing or decreasing. That would be a comparison of E and L. They're actually talking about the rate of change. So they wanted you to find E prime 5 and L prime 5 and compare them. And in a case like this, what you would find is that L prime 5 is greater than E prime 5. So the rate of change here of the fish leaving is greater than the rate of change that it's entering. So therefore, we would say that the rate of change is decreasing because L prime 5 is greater than E prime 5. All right, so you got a point for comparing these values, and you got a point for the correct justification there.